Hey everybody, it's Andrew.
And it's Paul.
And welcome to Fan Voice episode 22? 22?
Yep.
We have a special episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Naruto and the ending of Naruto, which just happened very recently. I think
last week.
Yeah. We want to talk about that. So we've brought in two of our good friends here to help us talk about it.
I can't find the eye.
And we're gonna have to talk about that at some point too. So we have Aaron here and we have Dan.
What up?
And they have been in episodes before. So
and they are two huge Naruto enthusiasts like ourselves. We've been through this once grade. That's what I'm saying. We've all been through this rough journey together. That's what I'm getting at, you know. But we all still love a part of Naruto. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
To say?
No,
yeah.
I do. I have fond memories of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Pretty legit at some point.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
It's been so long.
So we are going to start off negatively. I just want to warn everybody. But about 15 to 20 minutes into this, we do want to switch and talk about the remembrance and the best episodes.
Because we don't want to leave you hanging on a bad note.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with the bad and then go to the good.
Yeah, and then end with the good.
The fact of the matter is, it's over.
Yeah, that's
And
very true.
we have
how many years?
we do have good stuff to
15?
take from Naruto.
How long has it been? 15 years.
It came out in 1999, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
Something
god.
like that.
Right?
It's
I
Like-
literally grew up watching this then.
Think
I was
about
born in
the
97.
time when that came out, we had our first black president.
A lot of shit happened in 15 years.
Yeah.
Good
Light
point.
rail was first made.
What?
Wow.
What was
Oh my
first
gosh.
made?
Our Arizona light rail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a while. So let's talk about those 15 years.
All the Mass Effect trilogy, the Halo trilogy.
Oh my god.
Stop it, Dan. Stop it now. It's too much.
Is it really the whole Halo trilogy? You're right.
Between Melee, Brawl, and then Smash 4.
Okay, just keep going through. Just keep naming things throughout the episode.
Again, it ended. We can at least say that.
All right, so let's talk about where it went wrong for us and where. And here's the thing, because I believe Paul and Aaron, you guys watched it all the way, or
Yeah.
read
We
it
went
all the way.
all the way through.
So you guys had more stamina than me,
I had to actually
and I stopped.
I read it
Yeah.
once the chapter came out. I read it and then had to wait the next week. Read it again. It was just a consistent thing of reading it right away and then just having to wait.
It's
Yeah.
more of
Every
the
single week.
ritual than like you're so
Yeah.
used to doing it every week.
Yeah.
that-
And-
Did you go?
I took a break. I stopped right after they defeated Madara's mother.
Oh, okay.
Then I haven't got to the part where Sasuke and Naruto had sex. But
Keep this PG down.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, come on, let's
you,
keep
you
it.
got there.
Let's get. Come on.
But
All right.
you know, I think that's a good idea. I think we should go around and just say each where Naruto fell out for us.
So where it fell out, I'll just go ahead and start. Where it fell out for me
Mhm.
was really early.
Yeah.
I'm talking real early. And that was like, oh man, actually, it was with Pain.
Pain.
The
Okay.
end of the Pain arc, where Naruto's basically just like, don't do it because I'm cool, and then he's like, all right, I won't.
Mhm.
Everybody's revived, and then that was it, and that was the end of the Pain arc. Was the stupidest thing ever, and I was like, I think I'm done, but I have to keep reading because if I don't keep reading, I feel really bad
Yeah.
because I've been with this for so long.
Mhm.
And so then I kept reading, and then I stopped reading once Madara was like, I'm Madara, so
I'm gonna
not...
revive myself.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh.
revive myself. Everybody shut up. And that was where I stopped reading.
Yeah, Madara probably did it for me.
Mhm.
Just, like, I like the concept, like, when he first came back, like, oh, he's a threat, and then he's just like, oh, he's OP, he just does... He's just Madara, like...
What more can you say? He's a
You really
big
can't say
ball of
anything more.
bullcrap.
Quite literally, whenever bullcraps happen, he just says, "I'm Madara."
Yeah, no, seriously. I still don't understand his explanation. He's like, if I know the seals, I can get out of it. Why?
I don't
What?
know.
That doesn't make any sense because you're not real. You're just here as a dead person.
You're a
the
zombie.
dead people are supposed to be limited to what
sorry.
they can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Late warning. If anybody cares anymore, spoiler warning.
Yeah, seriously, spoiler alert. If nobody
It
wants to
ended.
read it, I
assume
don't know
you
why.
would read the show. Or read the manga.
But just a little thing there, yeah.
That shouldn't even be a
Madara is
spoiler.
raised
Like,
from the dead. The
We're gonna-
curse is broken, but he's still there because he's like, you think that can bind me? And that's his explanation, basically.
yeah, and he
When
wait,
Sasuke, alright, after Itachi's past is revealed to him, and then he still chose to be a dick.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was before pain or after pain, but it's either that or pain. Which one came first? And then
The one where you were
done
like,
reading.
yeah.
I just remembered a
It
part.
was almost at the same time.
I think it might have
Because,
been.
like, this is kind of funny, because, like, Sasuke was still being a dick, and he was like, I'm gonna take revenge and destroy the village. And then when he gets there, Pain already destroyed it, and then he's like, oh, well, crap.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I just remembered
So
a really.
it was really close together.
I just remembered a Madara part. Like, okay, remember the part when all the tailed beasts finally get together and they're like, okay, we gotta stop Madara.
Yeah.
Like right when he revives himself. He didn't have any eyes. Like he couldn't see. But he was still able to use the Susanoo or whatever. Like they
I have
trapped him.
no-
Hands up, everyone.
Everybody in the room has their hands up like, dude, I have no fucking
No, like-
idea.
Okay, the Shukaku or whatever the sand one's name is. He put him in the gigantic sand tomb thingy,
God.
and he got out using the Susanoo. I'm like, why? He doesn't have eyes. Like,
He has a Sharingan in his butt, secretly. But you would say
God.
Sasuke being a dick, that's where it, like, fell out for you?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
that
Sasuke's a dick.
Or pain.
he
whole
always
time,
was.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Now-
Sasuke never stops being a dick.
Now, for me, it was really interesting, because, I feel like one of the best parts of Naruto Shippuden was followed by the fallout for me, basically. And that was, Shikamaru fighting the two immortal guys.
Oh yeah.
Because basically, what
That was
happened
okay.
was, okay,
Oh, so he
Shikamaru
gets
had-
back the eye.
Shikamaru had this whole revenge plan going on thing, and he ended up doing this amazing strategy and beat a guy who couldn't die, which was freaking amazing by blowing him apart.
That's right.
Which was followed by Naruto's freaking Rasengan Shuriken thing, and
Yeah.
Percent shuriken.
that's when things, like, at that point, I was like, things are getting a lot more shallow, in my opinion, and, like, the battles from that point on just got more and more insane, and I feel like that was the mark of that, with that insane giant energy blast whatever thing that
I mean,
killed the guy with 5 hearts, and
yeah.
All at the same time.
I
It's
don't know.
basically a mini nuke.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole, like, Rasengan got more and more ridiculous, and then it got to the Shuriken. And I was just, like, the whole time it was happening, I was like, this is starting to resemble a lot of Dragon Ball Z's bad parts.
exactly.
Where it gets to the point where it's like, okay, at some point we have to stop with the fact that, no, I have an even better technique.
Yeah.
That's really the same technique, but bigger. We need to stop that.
Yeah.
Because eventually then all of the tension of these battles are completely destroyed. Because then it's just people standing around going, but wait, I haven't revealed my final trump card yet. And that's exactly what every battle was in Shippuden after a certain point. And I think you're
Exactly.
right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point where it's like, and then every battle is basically waiting around.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, overpoweredness. I feel, well, personally in my heart, I forgive it for Dragon Ball Z a little more because
Insert this page.
they-
Next.
they were that way from the get-go, and that's all they ever tried to be. is just like insane fighting and acceleration and power. But Naruto started with like legit combat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not just like crazy like energy balls and stuff like that, which made it like something really appealing and refreshing to me when Naruto first started.
What are we talking about?
Back when Naruto, before everything became OP, it was just like...
And energy balls and...
I like...
stuff.
Yeah, there was like a strategic element
Believe it.
into it.
Absolutely.
Believe it or not, there were like some stealth elements into it too, because there are also ninjas.
Yeah.
And ninjas are...
We'll talk about this when we get to the cons.
So
Oh,
we're at the cons. Okay, here.
Okay.
All right.
What chapter
Aaron
is it?
just handed me something from chapter 675, and I didn't know this because I have to be perfectly honest. I stopped reading when Madara like self-revived or whatever, and I read synopses after that because I'm just like fuck this thing. I'm just gonna read a summary, and then I read the last like 5 chapters. Literally, he just handed me this, and Naruto just comes up to Kakashi and gives him a new eye.
Yeah.
And then his explanation... Hold on. His explanation is... How did you do that? Well, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like I took a part of Kakashi and kind of, And then he's interrupted. And they're in a battle. Literally, then Sasuke says, I said not to let your guard down. And they start fighting somebody. What the fuck just happened?
Even the author doesn't know how to
Just a
explain
sample of the ridiculousness that happened. I mean,
Hell!
that was far beyond the point where things got, like, totally stupid. I mean, what is it?
What?
The beginning of the war, a little bit after that, you can totally see that the author is just trying to reap as much money out of it as possible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The really stupid thing about this was, like, beyond everything taking way too long, is that the chapters had less and less content in them as it went by. It was so infuriating as, like, this, like, the war, like, there were, like, 20 battles that happened in, like, maybe a month or two, and then 3 years was, like, 2 battles.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it was annoying. Like, it was like, every time it got worse and worse, and it was like, chapter 510, Naruto stands up, and he's ready to attack. 511, he's about to throw the attack. He talks to someone and had a flashback in between somehow.
Oh my gosh, the Obito of, like, the flashback, how long did that last?
Okay, so that's actually really funny that you mentioned that, because I was reading the synopsis from somebody, right? And they were talking about that, and then they literally said, for a couple chapters, they just talk about Obito, and it doesn't make any sense. That's literally what they said about it. And then they're like, I'm going to try to explain it, but I'm telling you right now that it doesn't make any sense. And I looked it up later, and I'm like, what are they trying to say? And so I wanted to ask you guys that, actually. Because I read, like, one of the chapters, and they're just talking about his past.
Yeah.
And like, how him and Madara met. And the whole time, I'm just sitting there like, wait, did I miss something? This makes no sense.
There are, like, random things here and there, and I feel like it's supposed to spark, like, a schizophrenic memory thing of him just, like, the past he used to love slowly breaking through his evil, whatever. And that was the mechanism Naruto used to utilize his most powerful weapon of all, friendship!
That part, yeah, it was basically, like, the same recurring theme of, like, two friends started out, like, being, like, personalities opposites, and then working together. And then there's a point where they diverge at a crossroad, and then Kakashi went one way, and then he went crazy psycho bitch the other way. And that's a recurring theme throughout the whole entire Naruto.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know.
Oh, but and just so you guys know, Naruto, like, wins over the heart of everyone with friendship. Like,
no,
till
he
the
seriously does.
very end.
He seriously
till the
does.
very end.
With Sasuke, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would have given
You
up
never
on
stopped thinking of me as your friend.
I would have given up on the
Beatles
manga
of,
if
like,
he had talked
Ninja's
Kaguya
War.
into friendship.
Yeah.
I guess so, huh?
But, okay, alright, let's wrap this up. Everybody in the circle, we're not going to have a discussion, just say bullcrap Naruto things, get out of our system.
Screw Sasuke, he's a douche.
Madara's existence.
8 billion paper bombs. 8 billion paper bombs. That was detonated, and then Obito still survives.
He used to use Izanagi.
I'm not saying 8 billion.
It was
More
10
bombs than
10
people
billion.
on the planets. Oh, I'm sorry, it was probably 10 billion.
It was-
More bombs than people on the planets, and he still survives. 5-minute long explosion.
He used
That's
to
big
Izanagi
as
to get
a
out.
star exploding.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that because I had kind of put it in the back of my mind because I never wanted to
I
think
just
about it.
forgot
again.
about it until like right when you said it because Daniel has complained about this since like it happened, and yeah, it needed to be said.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. That's complete bullshit. Nothing I can say really measures up to that too because that's kind of a really, really good one.
This is random, but I just remembered. Like, during when Sasuke was fighting Danzo, he used that Hawk summon once and it was never seen again. And it was
Yes.
never how he got it.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
where did
What?
that come from?
I remember that.
But he summoned like this hawk or whatever, and during the fight with Danzo, he used it for like 2 seconds,
Oh,
and then it was never explained how he got it, and it was never shown again.
well, because he called himself the Hawk Clan, with the Hawk Team, but then he beat
We are
up his own
Taka.
team, so
But
it's
he
over.
already made a contract with the snake deities. And
But how does that relate to a hawk?
Well,
It's a
you
snake.
know, with Sasuke's mood swings, he's constantly changing his mind about what he believes in, and maybe the summons go in with that. Like that's
Alright.
why I hate Sasuke so
Alright,
much.
my bullshit thing is, and I didn't even hear about it until later, and I had to do some serious research to figure out what the fuck happened, is anything with the tailed beasts makes absolutely no sense. I can't make heads or tails of it.
okay,
I-
the two
they-
halves of Kurama.
Right, that and the fact that they make the 10 tails without the 9 tails? Oh no, with part of it, but not either of the halves?
Like
Another part of it?
A very small chunk of
What?
the
They're like, wait, so I literally looked it up and I'm like, so they make the 10 tails, which means they have to have at least part of the 9 tails. Okay, which part is it? Neither of them. They're still alive, they're both still standing.
They had a tail.
Nothing makes any sense.
The part
They
they
had a tail.
took was they
Is that what
absorbed
happened?
they
Yeah.
absorbed 2 brothers who ate stomach fat from the QOP way long ago. So they have a little bit of the 9 tails in them. That's what's in the
Are you fucking
No.
kidding me?
Kurama
Yeah,
ate
that was
them.
right. I
Kurama
remember
ate them,
that.
and they started eating his stomach.
And they got chakra. And then everyone else that tried it died.
What the fuck?
And they're inside this,
We're not trying to hate on
Container.
Naruto. We love the show.
Yeah, what the fuck was with the container? They just put a bunch of people in there.
Wait, what?
The name container, cursed item.
Oh god,
Of
I don't
sorts.
even. Oh,
Yes.
Alright.
Alright. We need to switch gears.
We
Just
need to
gonna
switch
say that
gears.
was used in Yu Yu Hakusho already.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Okay,
Alright.
but deep breaths, everyone.
Oh my god.
Deep breaths. You know, it's
Shippuden.
it's really a different persona, and I feel like we all like look so differently at the 2 halves of Naruto.
Wait, yeah,
You know,
we kind of do. And you know, the other
Original
thing about,
Naruto and Shippuden.
yeah, and the other thing about Shippuden is that it really is absolutely ridiculous, and it devolves
is.
into nothingness at some point. But it
Anyone
has,
can just do anything.
yeah, I mean, but it still carried through those ideas.
Naruto turns into like a mini Jesus.
But yeah,
With
well,
eyeballs.
everybody does. I don't even fucking know.
I feel like it dropped a lot of themes really hard. Like they were still there, but only like whispers kind of thing to the
Yeah.
insanity action of it all.
Because, like you said, it got really slow paced near the end,
Yeah.
where there's not a lot happening.
No, it's
But-
it
But, like,
yeah.
I just
when
realized
he-
like
yeah.
3-year-long war, like 3-chapter fight between Naruto and Sasuke at the end.
Mhm, yeah,
Like,
yeah, 9.
why?
So, all right. So let's talk about the good parts because it really is. It's definitely split up into 2 halves.
How about we all say our favorite fight?
Oh, that's a good one to start.
Can we save that?
Yeah, we should
Okay.
save towards the end.
Okay, all right. Let's do that at
Because
the
that
end.
is a good. Yeah.
It was Naruto was really interesting. For me, it was kind of a comeback to anime because when it first arrived, it was like back then I was just hooked on the era of Toonami. So I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and Tenchi, and really liked those. But I never like went out of my way to hunt down anime kind of thing.
Yeah.
So after that happened, Toonami kind of fell out or moved to Saturday, and some weirder, not as cool shows were on for a while.
Yeah.
And then Naruto came on, and I was like, this is interesting. Love those headbands, super stylish kind of thing. And then it had my attention because the anime appeal was still somewhat new to me. And then
and this was also the first show ever I think that I watched dubbed. That I watched subbed. I mean, sorry.
Okay.
Because I had been watching most things dubbed because they were on Toonami, and then I saw Naruto and I was like, oh man, this is so good. And then I realized that the dubbed takes fucking forever, right? It takes forever.
Yeah.
Because it never shows up on TV, basically. So I was like, oh, well, I can just get it subtitled.
Yeah.
And then that's
Same
also
here.
where I learned
A friend
about
of
Pirate
mine-
Bay, but we will not go into that.
A friend of mine actually lent me some DVDs he burnt of it subbed, and that's how I watched it.
Yeah.
That went all the way up to the end of the second part of the test.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You
Were
know,
there
the
no
tuning
forest?
exam?
tuning exam, which was pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I watched it for a little bit, and then when it got to the part where it was near the end of the bridge fight with Zabuza and Haku,
Oh, yeah.
and that's when it started really hitting me when Naruto started spilling his guts about how could you do this to this person who lived for you, and then he starts weeping, and then all sorts of crap goes down and he kills everyone. I'm like, oh, I love this. This is so awesome. And it wasn't all amazing all the time, but it so many different things reminisced with me as time went on, and there's so many parts I loved about it.
Naruto is definitely a nostalgia factor. I mean, I look back at it, and it is not. I'm still going to maintain this. It is not as ridiculous as Shippuden.
No,
because Shippuden just goes off the rails and just does its own shit,
yeah.
and really does not make any sense. But a lot of stuff in Naruto, it's not. A lot of it isn't well animated. A lot of it isn't well written at all. It's terribly written for most of the time. But it's definitely a nostalgic show, and it had really good themes in it.
Yeah, I'd still say there are a handful of greatly choreographed fights.
Yeah,
that stand up today.
No, and that's very true. That's kind of what I'm saying. There's really good fight scenes. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was really excited, and I really liked the beginning of Shippuden. Shows a lot of promise.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
Right, because
Sakura became useful.
Right. Okay, so the whole thing where they're training with Kakashi again, kind of the two of them are kind of showing off what they've learned. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Then they start traveling with the puppet master, the old woman.
Dude,
that whole arc is really interesting.
Akatsuki Puppet Master, my favorite Akatsuki member.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Uh-huh.
So, there's just a lot of those, and I really like, what's his name, Deirdre or whatever? Deirdre. He's awesome, too. I actually really like his fighting style.
I like his fight with Sasuke, too. That was before Sasuke.
That's right, yeah.
I didn't really
Sasuke didn't really say much that, Deirdre was just talking crap that whole fight, and Sasuke was just kind of, thinking to himself, he didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
He was just, taking it and then just...
But at that time, Sasuke, he didn't really have to rely on his, Sharingan a lot.
That's
he
true.
actually used, more strategic, elements in his fight.
Yeah, he pretty much just used it to see where the bombs were. He didn't actually use it for, attacking or anything.
Nah. And he made himself, I want to be like Itachi, who only relied on it.
Yeah. But I don't know. The beginning of Shippuden shows a lot of promise, in my opinion, and it has some very good arcs at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then so that's kind of what I remember, really. And when I started reading the manga is when things kind of started to go downhill for me.
Yeah.
I think I picked it up at the wrong time. But I was like, I guess I should start reading the manga because I'm interested in the story and blah, blah, blah. And then I started reading the manga and I'm like, oh, God. It's just not good. It's really not. But
speaking of that, like, this was, like, the first show where I saw the anime and then said to myself, wow, I have to read the manga because I want to know what's the next thing going to happen. I don't want to wait a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, and that's why, because Shippuden, I loved the beginning of Shippuden, so I was like, I want to know what happens next, I'll start reading it. And then, a couple months later, it is when it started to heavily lose me.
I actually started, right before I got that, like, DVD of the subs, I started collecting the mangas of the original Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, like, a lot. What is it? We have the entire first part of Naruto in manga.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, we went pretty far in Shippuden before it's getting crazy. Are you still trying to...
No.
Because I only got a few Shippudens, and Aaron kind of took up the mantle for me and got a ton of Shippudens, but yeah, there's so much. What about you guys, your early memories of Naruto?
For me, like, what enticed me about it is the fact that there was, like, a whole entire world, like, of
I'm
it
glad you
outside
mentioned that.
of, like, the Naruto and the main party that was going on. And it was a fully developed world, and I like how there's history before them.
Yeah.
And now it's, like, one of my favorite parts is when they talk about the history that happened, like, before Naruto.
I love them talking about the first and second Hokage very early on, because that was fascinating. And then later on, I mean, they didn't really ruin that, but they brought up this whole thing, and then they made up a whole story about first and second.
They destroyed the mystery.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Then suddenly their main bad guy is the mother of chakra, basically. And I'm like, or of jutsu, not of chakra. And I'm like, why?
No,
like,
she's the mother of chakra too.
Really? Okay. Well,
she took the fruit from the holy tree and got the first chakra.
Why do we have to go that far back? I mean, this is kind of, to me, this is a lot like Korra, where it's like, that's Legend of Korra for those who don't know. So that's what it feels like to me, where it's like we have this whole history. Like, instead of leaving it there and just learning about it, we have to change it. Like, this has to be the most important person in all of history right now. Korra, the most important person in all of history. Naruto, he's the most important person. Because the mother of chakra, the mother of the world, comes and has to be the bad guy?
I don't understand, like, in the beginning...
The origin of evil, basically.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I don't understand in the beginning, the fight between Orochimaru and the third, when Orochimaru revived the first and second, why they were really weak.
The first and second?
Yeah, why were they so
weak?
They
weren't.
They were.
Well, they weren't at full power, but that's the thing that
the third
also
Hokage
bothers...
still beat them.
Yeah,
he had to basically, like...
He still beat them, Paul.
No,
they're supposed to be the gods.
Here's what I'm saying. They say during that fight that they're not at full power.
Well, they weren't at full power during the final arc either.
Well, supposedly... And then half the people, like Naruto's dad, is suddenly still amazing.
Yeah, like...
But other people who aren't as powerful aren't at full power when they get revived. Anyway, I thought we were done talking about negative stuff.
How come Naruto's mom wasn't revived?
She wasn't...
she wasn't a Kage.
I mean, she wasn't a ninja, I guess.
Like a strong fighter?
She wasn't.
No, she had... Her chains were like... Her sealing stuff was really good, I think.
But that's about it. But
I don't know.
She's...
But Aaron, when did you start getting into Naruto? Was it like
I think
same time as me?
Yeah, the bridge fight.
What stood out to you for that series?
The beginning?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, because like when I first... I was like so young when I first started watching, like, oh, action!
Was this the first anime for you?
I think so. Because I
Oh,
pretty
wow.
much grew up watching this show.
So this was
Yeah,
like your
that's true.
Dragon Ball Z to us.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of was.
Yeah,
I mean,
didn't
it
even
makes
I didn't even
sense.
watch Dragon Ball Z until like sophomore.
Well,
year.
'cause-
They all told me to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You were a millennia kid.
Yeah.
It makes sense that this was your first one rather than Dragon Ball Z
It came out
Yeah.
2 years after I was born, so
in Japan.
it still came out 2 years after I was born.
Yeah, like it was right around the right time for you. But what is it? There's a couple things that I feel like the first part did really well compared to maybe other shonen animes. Is they did a great job having a lot of care for the side characters. They really gave a lot of different side characters their own strong spot in a lot of their like past where I really got emotionally invested into a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like as opposed to maybe Bleach, some people may disagree, but there were a lot of characters in there, but I didn't feel that same investment into them, and like I feel like a lot of their pasts were just flashed up too quickly, or we just met this guy. Oh, by the way, his mom got eaten by a demon, or something like
Yeah.
that.
You know, like I feel like there's a lot of examples of that, and one of them that kind of sticks out to me in the early part of this series, the first half of the series, was like when they go after Sasuke for the first time, and it's like all of them go, then they each fight one of Orochimaru's.
That
I
was
love
absolutely
that was the best part.
fantastic.
yeah, like Choji and
They
Neji
Yeah.
and
strategized
everybody.
the whole thing.
Yeah, Shikamaru's fighting one of them, and they strategize and they fight, and they end up growing because of it.
Yeah,
directly.
Absolutely.
And then,
That
like in the middle
that
of the fight, like,
arc made me really care for Choji for the first time,
yeah,
legitimately,
it's like
and
this
it
guy's
made
like-
me think Neji was more cooler than he was before, which is awesome, and
'Cause, like,
the other characters too. Also, what is it within the tuning exam, Hinata's fight? It made made me think of her
See,
a little more, and
yeah.
Rock Lee's fight
Oh my God,
Yeah.
definitely.
Good fight.
Oh yeah, Rock
probably-
Lee's is awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
Though,
Like-
Chin Exam, when you watch Shikamaru fight for the first time,
Yeah.
holy crap.
it's
I
like,
fell in
oh, this
love with
guy's a
that
throwaway character. Nobody cares about him. Like, holy crap, he's totally different from any other person,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is amazing.
He's the total opposite. No, Naruto doesn't plan. He just goes in and does stuff. He plans. Like,
Yeah.
he's a full on planner.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Another thing
it's
that,
so far beyond any other person. He's like hardcore tactician.
It like made me care like like when they're all going for Sasuke, it made me care for Shikamaru a little more because like when he was like stuck in the lock, I guess with the horn lady.
Oh yeah.
Like they were like in that like kunai. I don't know. It was weird, but she's like she just got mad. She's like, why are you even doing this? Like, why do you care so much? And he's like, he's just like, I just have complete faith in like my whole team. Like,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. It just
And that-
it just showed he actually cared. Like
And
before, he seemed careless. About
Yeah,
everything.
and it showed that he's a good team leader.
Yeah, like he had
That's
faith
what
in
he
his
cares
team.
about. Yeah, that's exactly what he cares about is his team.
A little bit of the aftermath showed that too when Choji was
Yeah.
in the infirmary.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
He just like breaks down afterwards when they find out that he's okay.
Yeah, that he's actually not dead.
And I guess a little leeway into that just bringing on the final Naruto arc,
Yeah.
like first half of Naruto. The ending of that I thought was fantastic because it was so not generic, like you have this benevolent person who seems to like bring everyone in and make them better persons. His closest friend, this hero fails,
Yeah.
and he turns to hatred, kind of thing. It just cuts there.
And then he just leaves. And
Yeah.
he doesn't get him back immediately. That's the other part too.
Uh-huh.
Is Sasuke just leaves
Mhm.
and Naruto's like, but I'm like, you should have stayed. Like, in any normal circumstances, and if you were writing this in more of a cliche way, he would have.
Yeah.
This is like power friendship, but Sasuke's
But
like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
he leaves.
That's the thing about it. It wasn't cliche. It was a realistic reaction to Naruto's demands of friendship.
Seriously.
It's like, You want to be my friend? I don't care about you.
Seriously, and why would he care about you right now?
It was like
He's just gonna leave, and that's exactly what he does. I need to get stronger.
Yeah.
Naruto
like
forces
I have
feelings
tunnel
out.
vision, dude. I don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's at least a little realistic. And then what happens at the end? Friendship.
They screwed it up so bad. But hey,
Naruto-
stop ourselves.
Negative.
Nope.
Negative.
We're sticking on Naruto.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
Naruto was just like, he was just trying to push so, because Naruto really didn't have any friends. Like Sasuke was like his only friend during that, like until like the end.
Yeah.
But, and then he like tried so hard to preserve his like first friend, and then Sasuke just gives him the big middle finger and just
leaves.
Yeah, he just leaves.
Yeah.
Like he didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Sasuke is like the first dick boyfriend every girl had, basically.
The one that every girl wants, even though.
Okay.
No guy understands.
That's
why.
actually like Sasuke like persona. It's like he's this dark, mysterious, cool person that every girl in Naruto wants.
It's true.
They went on top of a mountain together. They had a talk. They came back.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so I guess let's finish this off by.
Oh, can
Talk.
I
No.
say one more subject? Because
No.
this is the reason the first part is so important to me.
Okay.
I've said this in the past, but basically, what my favorite thing about the first part of Naruto is it pushed forward this reoccurring element to the forefront of the series of child development through loneliness. And I think it's a great factor to put into a series because, to a degree, every single one of us can relate to being alone. And it showed different degrees of all of that through the series. What is it? You have, like, Naruto, who just never knew his parents. Sasuke, who lost his family traumatically. And then you got lighter ones where Choji's just an outcast because he's fat, basically, kind of thing.
And then there's Gaara, who's his dad.
His parents are psychopaths, and that drove him crazy. You know, I absolutely loved that theme. So
and they
much.
keep dealing with it too because one of our favorite episodes ever is the Shikamaru episode after he loses his sensei.
Absolutely,
and then he has to deal with the fact that.
Yeah.
Like, his father's never really been his father figure.
Yeah.
So now he has to deal with the fact that he's lost his father figure and the person he looks up to the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Shippuden had it in just a few strong points, and then the rest of it just got lost in translation.
No, it definitely does. It just gets lost at some point, and it's all about the story, which has never really been that great. So... and it got worse too.
Originally it was about the characters, and how much care they put into them. Really.
Yeah, the side characters were very strong in Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were.
But part of the reason that we watch the show too is the fight scenes. And as Aaron mentioned, talking about the fight scenes is a good way to talk about what our favorite parts of Naruto is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So. Let's go around the room here, Aaron.
Let's say our favorite fight scenes and not repeat each other's.
Yeah, and favorite fight scene, and if you have another fight scene, or if you have another scene that's not even a fight scene.
I just got my favorite
Aaron,
fight scene.
You know mine. Don't take it.
Just talk.
Okay. Like we mentioned earlier, for like a split second, the Gar and Rock Lee fight.
Okay.
That was a really good fight at the tuning exams.
Yeah.
That was absolutely.
I'm surprised Gar didn't die actually, but.
Yeah. So am I.
That was the one
I'm surprised the place wasn't like blown up.
Oh, seriously.
Just the concept of this fight was absolutely unbelievable because Gaara was probably the earliest version of an OP character in this anime at the time, and he has ultimate defense, and his defense and power is basically magical.
Yeah.
And you see this guy, Rock Lee, who's literally just physical, and he's pounding this guy in with just sheer force, which is
that's the other thing.
Absolutely
fantastic. It brought him up because like he couldn't use like any sort of ninjutsu at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, he can actually, like, people without like ninjutsu can actually be useful. And it just showed during that fight. He still lost. But.
Yeah, and it's a great representation of like this is what happens when you work hard enough.
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
he was sheer like will and like working hard.
Yeah.
And then another thing, it's not a fight, but just like I think it was the second part when they're in the forest for the tuning exams. The team part.
Oh yeah.
I just like that whole thing in general. Like,
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
The tuning exam was such a great art.
It
It
was.
was.
Oh my gosh.
It was. So
what was yours?
my favorite fight, I think, is and this is a kind of a weird one to pick, I think, but is the fight between the third and the first and second.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really like that fight a lot. It's
That was a good
short
one.
and it's kind of like
It's
it
like
just
to the point-
happens
it's to the
randomly.
point.
But it's freaking Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it's really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And you get to see like the combination of like the water and tree kind of jutsu come up against the third, and I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the first time we really got to see like the adults fighting.
It's true.
And
because during
felt
that,
epic.
yeah,
Like for the first time, I was like, "Shit, these guys are outclassed."
And then they
Like,
summoned-
we've seen-
and they summoned
Yeah.
the Monkey King Enma.
Yeah, like I have like I just watching like Rock Lee, watching Sasuke, like watching all these people. I'm like, wow, these guys are really good. And then I watched the Hokage's fight, and I'm like, shit,
Like
They
they
are
are Hokage
out-
for a reason.
they are outclassed. That was incredible, and it's
Yeah.
short, but it's like to the point. And
seriously.
he gets his ass handed to him, and it's great. Anyway, that's my favorite like fight scene.
okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fight, Dan?
The fight between Shikamaru, like this where even said Shikamaru had between the two immortals,
Oh, okay.
and
The
like
guy with the five hearts.
Yeah.
yeah, I love how strategic it is, and it shows like Shikamaru. He only really has like the shadow jutsu, like not even all of it. He could just only reach people, and then what he touches,
Yeah.
And it can't even last that long.
copy. And it can't even last long, but it shows like for how little he has, how much he can do with it because of strategy and
Yeah.
how much
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's
effort
like how
he put
Paul
into
said,
it.
it's a completely different fight.
Yeah,
from
Yeah.
everyone.
physically, he's quite mundane.
He's really
You know?
weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has no taijutsu to speak of,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And seeing him work with Kakashi together for
That-
planning
yeah.
are like
That
the
was
two
really cool.
strategic champions
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Naruto.
Should we all say
It's
that?
really cool.
Should we all say like our favorite character after this? Or no?
Okay, alright, we can go around the room and do that. Sure.
Okay.
That's
So
a good idea.
Paul, I already know what yours is.
yeah, you know what mine is. Okay, so my favorite fight of Naruto of all time is Neji versus the Spider Guy.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
anyone remember his
Yeah,
name?
That
I
was a
don't
great
remember.
Fight.
I don't remember his name, but I remember the fight.
Oh,
Okay.
his name? Just keep talking, I'll think of it.
Okay, so what I absolutely love about that fight is I feel like out of all of Naruto, it was the perfect blend of like strategy and combat.
Kidomaru.
Huh?
Kidomaru.
Kidomaru?
Nice.
Okay. I feel like it was the best blend of strategy and combat where like Neji is a genius, but he's a different kind of genius from
He's
Shikamaru.
like the natural
Like,
talent.
he's
way.
more of a combative genius, and that
Yeah.
really shows in the fight. And it was just an absolute thrill to watch Neji just take on this like force that seems like absolutely impossible, and along with all the strategy that took place, Neji is an incredible fighter at the same time and was absolutely pushed to his limits
Yeah.
to beat this guy.
Yeah.
I'm
So
surprised he didn't die, actually.
it
Yeah.
it was an absolutely incredible battle.
Another thing that I said earlier about Rock Lee having to actually he's like pure hard work. Like Naruto in the sense was the same way. Like he sucked at first. Like he couldn't do anything.
Mhm.
Like everyone hated him, and then like friendship. He made friends with the whole village, but he actually worked hard to actually become good. And that's like another theme I liked in the thing.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like hard
like,
work does pay off.
Yeah.
Bleach where he just like goes
Bleach is the worst with that.
where he goes
The-
off
the
thinking
excel-
about for a moment, has a flashback, inner self, and because of his strong emotions,
That's
he is
literally
stronger.
his acceleration almost every time. Let me space out for a second. Okay, I'm 10 times stronger and I can kill this guy that was beating the crap out of me.
Yep.
Before.
Pretty much.
Kind of thing.
But we're not talking about Bleach.
No. so yeah.
No favorite characters?
Sure. You want to go around and do... Okay,
You
go
start.
ahead.
Wait, Paul
Okay,
starts.
alright, Paul starts. Go.
Well, I guess mine is pretty obvious. It was Neji.
Okay.
Just because I'm really enticed by his, like, combative genius.
Yeah.
You know, it's different from Shikamaru. Like, I find it much more thrilling and fun to watch. As opposed, Shikamaru is an amazing tactician, but it always, like, teetered me off a bit when he always had a little time to strategize, and it was kind of a mental omnipotence thing that he got into a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Which we had a whole, like, dealio with that in No Game, No Life kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Neji is freaking awesome.
Dan?
I also like Neji, but for me, like, you can probably tell easily from this listening earlier, but it's Kakashi and Shikamaru.
Mm-hmm.
They won my heart so much.
Yeah.
But there's so many strong characters. Like, there's also
It's true.
Gaara that I liked a lot, and I oddly even like the second Hokage.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Kakashi flashback because like when it goes back to him being a kid. Like during
Kakashi Gaiden. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Not Kakashi.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
the arc with
The
just
Kakashi
Kakashi. Yeah,
Chronicles.
yeah.
It was such a great arc, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, so actually it's funny that you mentioned Gaara, because Gaara is definitely, I think, probably mine.
Okay.
I really like Gaara, and that's actually really, really why I like the Shippuden arc a lot.
Okay, yeah.
I love that arc with him. He
I-
ends up kind of just being sidelined a little bit, but I really like, I think he's a really strong character.
I think one of the most
Um,
gripping parts in Shippuden was in the beginning when they were chasing after him and Naruto's just thinking about Gaara. And then it shows those frames
Yeah.
where Naruto's like life grew with friendships
Yeah.
and he kept being more and more alone kind of
Yeah.
thing.
That's why I really like Gaara, because
Yeah.
I think he's just a really strong character. But I also have to say, I also actually really like Orochimaru.
Okay.
I think he's a really good bad guy until they kind of lose me
He seemed
when
like
they
a
bring him
complete
back
pedophile,
or
though.
whatever in Shippuden. He's a total pedophile.
He's the Michael Jackson of Naruto.
Yeah.
yeah, no, he really is. But he's so creepy,
Yeah.
and he's such a good bad guy. But he's also he's also kind of, he gets morally gray as time goes on.
Tuning exams was his golden era,
Yeah.
definitely, and everyone was freaking scared of him. Nobody knew what the heck this guy was doing,
Yeah.
who the heck he was.
He's
Oh my
super
gosh.
powerful. Nobody
Yeah.
really knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. When he loses his arms, that's just awesome to me.
Yeah.
I love that part.
And how
so,
he has this like whole like following, not just like the enslaved people, but like the bone guy. He's like in love with him.
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of
No,
thing.
he
It's
has.
like,
he makes a
wow,
whole
oh my
village
God.
He, like,
just because he
brainwashed
gets
him.
people to
Which
follow
is
him.
another reoccurrence of the loneliness theme, because him and Haku devoted themselves to someone because they had no one, they had no purpose, kind of thing, and they were alone. It's like,
Oh, he's probably
All
another
right.
one of my favorite characters.
okay, what's your favorite?
yeah. What's your
character?
favorite character?
Either Kakashi or that bone guy. Like I just,
Okay,
I'm actually no, it's probably Kakashi, but I like the bone guy just because of his actual techniques. Like for the Naruto D20, I was actually gonna,
Yeah,
I was gonna be that person. But I just love Kakashi because like I loved his backstory. Like he had troubles of his own, like as a kid, and like when Sasuke
and he dealt with it.
Sasuke's like, I could kill everyone that you love. He's like, everyone I love is already dead. Like, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then
It's like,
it's like Kakashi has
yeah.
hardships of his own, and
Yeah.
it shows during the arc. And then he's
His
actually
dad committed suicide.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he was like vilified or whatever. I don't know what the word was for it.
He like
People
people
just-
shunned him.
Yeah, everyone hated him for what he did.
Yeah.
But and then he was also like strong enough to like. He wasn't the best, but he was strong enough to like hold his own in like an actual fight.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I love about him.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in the beginning of Naruto, Kakashi looked at Naruto and was like, wow, he has more chakra than I do.
Yeah.
And then you realize like he's actually one of the weaker characters physically, but then because like
The chakra.
of how good he fights, like
I think it makes him more tangible.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
strong and has potential, but he has limits.
Yeah.
You know?
He's human. Like,
Yeah.
At least he
He
seems
has-
more human.
Yeah.
He has failures too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I think that was a really good discussion on Naruto.
True.
And this is a show that deserves a lot of discussion. So, tell us what you thought of the ending. If Shippuden lost you,
if you agree with our hatred.
Yeah, if you agree with our hatred of the last couple years.
If you
of
agree
Naruto,
with our love of the original Naruto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean,
give us feedback.
Despite everything, I'm glad Naruto was around because it was.
I grew up with it.
Yeah, it was a fantastic anime to grow up with. And it is still, even from now, I see elements here and there that I just don't see in other animes. So it was something definitely unique and something I wouldn't just throw off as a big three or something generic. It is something special to me.
Yeah,
absolutely. The first part of Naruto.
So, all right. So tell us what you guys think. You can find us at Twitter at Fanvoice Podcast.
Hashtag the Fanvoice.
Sure. That is our hashtag, actually.
Yeah, no. hashtag.
YouTube.com/thefanvoicepodcast.
Facebook.com/thefanvoicepodcast.
Our email fan@thefanvoice.com.
And our website, thefanvoice.com, where you can find news, reviews, and all that good stuff. We're going to have an article up there from Paul about the 5 most bullcrap moments from Shippuden. So
we'll probably post a few just to celebrate
the end of Naruto.
Yeah.
So
what better
keep
way
an eye
to
out for
celebrate
that.
the ending than to ridicule it?
Yay!
Just one.
We're ending on a positive note.
Naruto's cool.
Naruto's
Watch
cool,
it.
I guess. All right, so we'll see you guys next time.
Believe it.
Bye.
Ooh.